Hello, crypto people. Hope you're all doing great today. And as everybody tuning in at this point knows, Bitcoin went to higher highs. So as we were talking about, we knew that if we were going to go to higher highs, we'd have to have increasing bull volume. And you can really see it on the daily here that we got that increasing bull volume, and now bulls are in absolute control. So give me just one moment here. I'm trying to buy a dip on NQ and my alerts are going off. Might make a quick little attempt here. Just bear with me for a second. I'll look for a little momentum shift and then I'll just give it one attempt to mark it in, put my stop below the low, and that's either it or I'll stop out. I know I can't really be fussing with it too much here as we got the stream going. Just waiting. All right, that's enough for me. I'm in, got my stop below the low, and let's see if we can't get half out and get risk-free. Let's see, I think I might be able to be risk-free already, but since I've got a pretty good entry, I'm gonna be a little patient on it. And if I stop out, that's just no big deal. Nice low risk attempt there. Yeah, looks like almost hit my stop. Sorry all about this. Kind of front running like a 1 minute stair step. If I had more time, I'd probably just wait for the 1 minute stair step there. Okay, I have stopped out. So that's that. We won't spend too much more time on this. Bears in control in the short term in the broad market, but let's get back to Bitcoin. I'm gonna keep an eye on this out of the corner of my eye. But y'all are here for Bitcoin, so we'll talk about Bitcoin. I think I didn't even do my little intro. I'm Joey from the Chart Guys. Been here for 6 years, been trading full-time for 7 years, and excited to talk about some Bitcoin. Obviously 50K, everybody is excited about that, big level, and main thing, we got continuation. Last time we were talking in here, it was like, okay, you know, the burden of proof is on bulls in the intermediate term to see further bounce follow through, and bears got ran over, and we just V-shaped up to these highs after a little daily equilibrium bull break, and now we've got a daily stair-step pattern. Certainly overextended in the short term, so if you're looking for entries, hopefully you already got them and aren't necessarily looking for them on a 200% move off the lows plus. But all right, I'm taking one more shot at NQ here. Put my stop below the low. We'll let that be. So hopefully you've got your entries if you're looking for them. But if you're a day trader or a short-term trader looking for maybe plumping up a position, you'd be looking for higher lows on all time frames. So we are in uptrends on every time frame at this point. So right now in the short term, we've got a 15-minute potential head and shoulders here to get hourly consolidation underway. And if that happens, then we'll be looking down to hourly 12 EMA, 5-minute oversold conditions. And if 5-minute oversold conditions act as support and bulls bounce from it, then they'll remain perfectly healthy. So our back burners have been a pretty good guide on this way up. We had 5-minute back burners hitting multiple times on this leg up, and then our last 15-minute oversold back burner, which was right in here, hit very clean. We can go to the 15-minute time frame to look at that. That was right here. Absolutely dinged it to higher highs, so that's a great look for bulls all around at this point. So we are just looking to see how long does that continue. We know that it is important to be protective when we start to get some euphoria going on in the markets, and I'd say this is a bit of euphoria, hitting 50K after the bear market. So got to be a bit protective, but we know bulls are in absolute full control, and beyond just Bitcoin seeing control here, we are seeing rotation. So Bitcoin got this big move up, and now we're seeing ETH BTC try to get some bounce going, and seeing ETH work its way up to weekly resistance. So you want to see rotation. We're continuing to see rotation, and we'll just trust our trends, just as we have throughout this whole process and as we always do. So let's get back to the Bitcoin specifics. I'm liking the 4-hour 12 EMA as our guide. We had this pullback to it. Bears tried to push below, tried to get some daily consolidation underway, but no dice, and it ultimately ended up being a pretty quick 12-hour cup and handle there. Very dinky consolidation, but we've confirmed to new highs. So that is that, and we are going to be looking for a 4-hour higher low compared to 47,710. Anything above that would be higher low and keep bulls in full on control. And that's what we're looking at here. So the big question is, do bears confirm a little 15-minute head and shoulders in the short term? They would have to take out 49,372 to be confident in any follow through. And that is that. So while I was talking here, I did end up getting a NQ position. I'm pretty interested in this bounce here. So I'm in at 17,945. I should be chopping half. It's seeming like a temp bottom. I will chop half though. I'm not going to be greedy. I will do that right now. I'm going to put my stop in below the low, and then we'll let the rest of this go. So I know that, again, this isn't crypto, but just looking for some bounce, knowing that bulls are in full control. We do have CPI tomorrow, but here we are kind of testing these EMAs, dipping down more than bulls would want to see. But when you get that extension, your odds of being able to get risk-free are usually pretty good. So had the two very small stop outs before and am now nicely in profit on the day with that. So I got to set a little alert for the 2-minute 12 EMA. So if that goes off, I'll take a little more profit and then see where things go. So back to Bitcoin, that's pretty much it in the short term. One thing that we can say is with this broad market pullback, Bitcoin's certainly holding on well here. We're just chilling up at the highs, and we've got the broad market coming down pretty decent at this point. So that is we got a nice signal on this. The VIX up big green today while the broad market was up. Usually you won't see that divergence last too often. So let's get into some ETH techs. I'm going to minimize my broker, so I'm looking at the YouTube chat here. And let's see what we got. Looks like 5-minute 12 EMA guide on ETH. We're remaining relatively strong as ETH BTC sees some more bounce, but not going to lose track that we're looking for a daily lower high compared to this 55, what is it, 55.90. So bull's going to try to take another crack at reconfirming a daily uptrend and defending these key lows on ETH BTC, but we know they've failed these attempts previously. But for now, solid bounce off the lows, going to need a 4-hour trend change if this is going to stick. And as long as ETH BTC is strong in the short term, then ETH USD is catching some rotation. If we lose the 5-minute 12 EMA on ETH, we'll look down to the 15-minute 12 EMA. And like Bitcoin, tons of room for an hourly higher low, tons of room for a 4-hour higher low. And we are still just in our daily uptrend. So low of today going to be key support moving forward as we look to see, is ETH going to follow Bitcoin in breaking to weekly higher highs? So 27.17 would be that level. And let's check in on our volume. We've got the increasing volume here as well. Still not dazzling in a historical sense, but increasing is increasing. And bigger picture, that weekly 12 EMA is going to be that guide. So just keeping eyes on that. LTC keeping its daily uptrend intact. And another one, not going to be surprised to see a weekly lower high compared to 77.10. We remain relatively weak as LTC BTC continues its move down. Check that alert real quick. Straggler. Yeah, we'll just let this continue to live for a little bit. Maybe that 2-minute 12 EMA is coming. Yeah, we'll let it live for now. We'll let it live for now. Let's see. So LTC BTC, we know it's very weak. We know it's weak. We know weekly 12 EMA is the guide there. And unless that cracks to the upside, then LTC is going to remain a lead bear. And bigger picture, we're just in these quarterly inside bars. We know we can kind of anticipate chop when you're in inside bars on larger time frames. So what else we got? Looking at Sol, it's another one, weekly 12 EMA, gonna be our guide. Bulls are working on up, and the question is, are we gonna get a weekly lower high compared to 126.36? Or are Bulls gonna go to new highs? So that's just what we're looking at there. Daily uptrend, just now getting confirmed because we were technically coming right off the low here. And low of today gonna be key support moving forward. Next resistance we got is 116.95, and that is that. In the short term, 15-minute 12 EMA guide, when that's lost, we'll be looking for some hourly consolidation as bulls knock up on this resistance area at this point. Link remaining strong here. We had a daily bull flag confirmed, lots of follow through, and we're in an area with a lack of resistance pretty much into the upper 20s. We don't have any clear resistance, and now we've got a daily uptrend that's going to be our guide. So that makes this, let's see, just below 18 psychological, looking at like 1796. That's key support, and we've got 4-hour 12 EMA rider. So you'd have to lose the 4-hour 12 EMA to see some daily consolidation play out, and that's what we're looking at here on Link. Let's check Link BTC and see if that's getting over. Yeah, no, we're still at this wall of resistance here. We've got bulls trying to do this big old monthly inverse head and shoulders, but you got to get through 46.78 to get that going. And we have a little bit of bearish divergence here where we'll be looking for a daily lower high on Link BTC. And when that shapes up, Link USD will start seeing a little relative weakness. We've had relative strength for the past couple days, but we know it won't be shocking when that shifts to relative weakness. So beyond that, we've got our blue sky or close to blue sky bulls doing well. And same question as Sol. Are we going to get weekly lower highs, or are bulls going to be going to higher highs? The more alts that go to higher highs, the greater the odds will be that others follow. And we can use retracement size to determine, what are these other names' odds. Like if we look at Matic, we know a weekly lower high is very firmly the most likely scenario. We're still quite far away from it, 25%, while you've got Bitcoin going to those higher highs. So your chances of getting a weekly lower high on Matic are much greater than something like RNDR or OP at this point. OP's had great relative strength. It was kind of petering out here for a bit, but the last couple days it's had relative strength. Daily stair step. We've got a 4-hour uptrend guide and lots of room for a 4-hour higher low. So pretty much all of these names at this point, bulls have room for higher lows on most all time frames. And then it just depends, how aggressive do you want to be? If you want to be very aggressive, you're looking for like a 15-minute higher low, something like that. If you want to be a little more patient, you're waiting for an hourly higher low. More patient, 4-hour, and then the most patient is daily. And that's pretty much the bull grind on everybody. And the bear grind is looking for these weaker alts. We've got a whole list here of names where a weekly lower high is very likely, just due to the retracement size. Matic, AXS, look at that distance that you've got. So if you're looking bear, these are the ones. Uni getting some more bounce, but still a lot of room. Theta, tons of room. ETC, still tons of room. AAVE, only just now getting its bounce underway. Still tons of room. Atom, lots of room. GMT, just barely getting its weekly bounce underway. And ADA. ADA is hitting about the halfway point, so bulls like to see that, decreasing the odds of a weekly downtrend. But another point on this weekly lower high watch list, something we were talking about in the chat room, while it's like a weekly lower high scout watch list, it can also be seen as a laggard bull watch list, because if we continue to see rotation, then I would assume that names that are struggling now, like AAVE, GMT, that they'll start to catch a wave of rotation. So you can be viewing that as either a laggard bull list or an aggressive bear. I wouldn't even say it's aggressive when you've got that much room and you've got that much weakness compared to the space as a whole. That's a pretty conservative take on it, if you ask me. Let's see here, peeking back in on my NQ on the other screen. Not really doing much. I'll just continue to let it be. I don't know that we got that 2-minute 12 EMA at this point. No, we're slinking just below it. We'll bring that alert there. I'm gonna get rid of that line there, and I'll just set an alert at the bottom to ensure I stop out of my full position if that's what we've got happening. Just double checking my order size. It's always a little, like I don't mind trading live. I actually enjoy it because it kind of gets me to cross my T's and dot my I's, but I always worry a little bit that, doing something distracted, I'll mess up orders, and when dealing with leverage positions, that ain't no good. That ain't no good. So let's check back in on Bitcoin here. So we've got bulls defending the 15-minute 12 EMA here still. So if we're going to see hourly consolidation, bears need a 15-minute downtrend, and that is that. Now we got a little double bottom here at 49,673 and 49,691, and resistance obviously going to be this 53.34 at this point. And while we're talking resistance from a volume profile perspective, we really don't have anything notable up until 56K. So we'll see if bulls can find acceptance above this 49.4 essentially was that value area high. We saw a little resistance there, little attempt off of the low, but then once we got back up and over, we got bulls defending it. So going to continue to keep eyes on that. And I was debating if I was going to say anything, because I know this isn't a great way to make friends in the crypto space, but I do have a Bitcoin short. Basically, I made one attempt in here, stopped out playing for that value area high, and then attempts at the 50K break. One little one right on it that stopped out, and then a second one from up here. I think my average, 50 to 46, and I'm good with the risk with a stop a little bit over the high, and I don't know, just kind of trying to see if breaking resistance in very extended conditions at a level that everybody can see and everybody's interested in, if that can kind of just, lead to some 4-hour consolidation or something like that. I don't really know what my full-on game plan is, but I know I'm not just looking for a 1.36% move back. Maybe if I can be so blessed to cover some at 5-minute oversold conditions, then leave the stop over the high for the rest to see if this ends up being like a, weekly head and shoulders or something. Zero sign of anything like that yet, but it pays to have a little imagination in the markets. And we just know that when you're breaking resistance in extended fashion like this, it can be tough to see follow through. So low risk attempt there for me, and based on how things go, we'll kind of determine how I manage the position. But if we were to see this higher high truly not see follow through, we would ultimately need to lose the daily 12 EMA from here to be like, okay, this is a red flag at this point. So as long as that's not happening, then there's nothing to worry about for bulls, and 4-hour 12 EMA, very clear intermediate guide. So what else we got? TIA is looking for a daily higher low, trying to bounce from daily 12 EMA. No follow through on the higher highs here. It's not really a rising wedge, but we would have to lose daily 12 EMA for those higher highs without follow through to end up being a big deal. And then maybe that could be like a potential weekly head and shoulders as well, but no signs of that yet or anything like that. Bulls have room for a 4-hour higher low next consolidation. And that is that. INJ, let's see. INJ is looking for a 2-day lower high, just viewing this as a 2-day equilibrium. So that's another one where aggressive bears could be looking for something there. Aggressive bulls are just playing off these lows that we've bottomed out at multiple times. So there's something for everybody in the markets, and that's pretty much the case most all the time. And that's the beauty of it. That's what keeps the whole thing churning, is the passing of the torch between bulls and bears. And any healthy chart is going to have the ups and downs along the way. So opportunity for everybody pretty much all the time. So let's see, that's pretty much what I'm looking at. Let's hop into chat and see what y'all are looking at. What up, Gary? What up, Brevi? What up, Salem? Star Parco, TIA BTC, interesting bearish divergence. Let's take a look. TIA BTC. So yeah, we've got a pretty traditional form of bearish divergence here, where you have your USD pairing breaking to higher highs while the ratio does not get to those higher highs. So as far as the ratio, just going to be trusting the weekly uptrend that has been intact since the birth here, and that makes 35,957 the key support. If that were to be taken out, then we'd say, okay, things are shifting on TIA and maybe we've got some monthly consolidation shaping up. But it's always kind of a double-edged sword when you have this ratio divergence, because in the one sense, it's like a little bit of a red flag for TIA, but in the other sense, like, okay, so we're at, nearly the highest close ever on this thing. So there's nothing like bearish about being up at all-time highs. There's nothing bearish about it, and we've got to respect that. And the double-edged sword part is there's two ways that this could play out. Either the BTC pairing, wins representation for TIA, and that 2-day tightening range or whatever time frame you want to view this on ends up breaking bear, and then TIA USD doesn't see follow through and comes on down. That's one version of how that can play out. The other version is that this ratio chart bases out sideways healthy and then goes up to new highs and joins the USD pairing. So again, it's one of those things where everybody can have a shot at trying for something. The only thing that really matters is that, do you have a somewhat stable thesis that you're going on? You don't have to be a technical wizard to do this stuff. Risk management is far more important than technical prowess, but you need some edge that you're working with. And if you have some edge that you're working with and you manage your risk right, you really can't go wrong with whatever you're looking for. I mean, some people will say like, dude, you're shorting Bitcoin 50,000 break, you're insane. Obviously, bulls are in full control. Yeah, it's a counter trend trade, but my risk is managed. I'm very okay with what the dollar amount loss will be if I stop out, and that's fine. That's fine. So TIA, we'll have to wait and see how this shakes out, because at this point, we've got a range here on the BTC pairing. If bulls defend these lows and start bouncing, we're going to see relative strength come back into TIA, and that will probably be a daily bull flag confirming to new all-time highs. And if we were to see another higher high without follow through, then that's maybe when we'd start looking for a rising wedge. If we were to like come back up like that and then come down, then we could be looking at something like that. But we'll just go one step at a time, and there's nothing bearish about blue skies, as Chart Gal Lori says. Let's see what else we got in here. Karan Bell, holla holla, Costa, hello, Omar, howdy. Dan Xpath. I don't know who that is. A moderator. That's not step 2, is it? That might be step 2. I hope it's step 2. What up, Ryan? What up, Haipu? When top? When Bitcoin loses the weekly 12 EMA, then we can start talking about a top. But as during this whole pullback, we're saying weekly 12 EMA, the guide on Bitcoin. Nothing is wrong for bulls as long as that's holding and it held, and nothing is wrong for bulls. So at this point, even if we were to see like a little mini blow off top, which this action certainly isn't like, when I was initiating this position in my mind, I'm thinking like we blast up to 50K, get a good position with a close stop, and then, give $1,000 back in 15 minutes or something like that. That's not this at all. This is healthy consolidation. Bulls are loving it. Bears are continuing to feel the pain. But not if you have your risk managed. Not if you have your risk managed and you don't have an ego. If you have an ego, then you might be feeling the pain despite the financial mishavings. But no ego, manage risk. There's no pain to be feeling. Let's see, December 2021, how long it has been. From Tom Tycoon. I don't know what your what you're in reference to. Oh, unless you're talking about last time we were at this price, probably. Yep, there we are. That has been a long time. That has been a long time. Good heavens. Good heavens. And this is kind of the benefit of these log charts. If we look at BLX, the full depth index, you know, was there anything bearish about 2018 from a log perspective, 2014 from a log perspective, 2022 from a log perspective? There wasn't, and bulls are showing that, and they're just continuing on up here. All right, I gotta check back in on my NQ. Seems we are ascending. Let's see, I'm gonna take some more of this off. Looking for 5-minute 12 EMA. I'll stick my order in there and set an alert. So I know if I get filled to go back and move my stop. I guess I'll just put a couple alerts there. Nice. All right, back to Bitcoin. Or actually, back to chat. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Backburners on the table from Dan X Path. That is true. That is true. BTD.D down, alts going up. I don't know what BTDD is. If you're talking about BTCD, Bitcoin dominance, that is exactly what we've got going on here. So big move up for Bitcoin on the 50K push. And now we have Bitcoin going sideways, remaining healthy, while alts play catch up. And you can see that on several of them. Hanging out up at the highs here still, while Bitcoin is starting to come down off the highs a little bit. Coming off a little bit, but plenty healthy. All right, I already talked a good bit about TIA. Let's look at SEI. I know we've got a pretty big move up here, and we have broken, what was that, 75-cent resistance. Not a ton of follow through at this point, but the big thing that bulls have now got done is a daily uptrend. So we had a daily uptrend back there. That was a quick little weekly lower high, and bears tried to confirm a weekly downtrend to see some monthly consolidation, and bulls said, nope, we are staying in control. So we can say for sure that 56.23 is now key support, and as long as that is holding, bigger picture, SEC bulls remain plenty, or SEI, not SEC bulls, SEI bulls remain plenty strong, and we're watching all-time high resistance at 88 cents. Got that daily uptrend, so that makes low of today 65.87 key support. And like everything, we're going to be looking for hourly higher low, going to be looking for 4-hour higher low, and potentially some hourly consolidation shaping on up here. Let's see. So like ETH, we were a 5-minute 12 EMA rider. We've lost that. And now we got bears working their way down towards the 15-minute 12 EMA. Ultimately, we need to see that taken out to get that hourly consolidation underway. And then I wouldn't say that this is like an official back burner, but we'll be observing the oversold conditions on any pullbacks just to see, because if we see 5-minute oversold get snapped up across the board, then we know that that's a very good look for the bulls. That is the strongest look that you could ask for. If we see 15-minute oversold snapped up, that would be the next best look and tell us that like the 4-hour consolidation is healthy. And bigger picture, it's the hourly oversold that is like most important, because ultimately if hourly oversold doesn't mark your higher low, that tells you that daily consolidation is verging onto the unhealthy side, or not the unhealthy side, but it's not the strongest. And the strongest uptrends, you see hourly oversold mark these daily higher lows. So once that is hit, then that tells you that that could be the first sign of weekly consolidation. So from a larger time frame perspective, hourly oversold is crucial. So then let's go to Bitcoin and map out where that would be at this point. That is pretty low. This will move around as price moves around, but at this point we're looking at 46K for those hourly oversold conditions. So bulls are chilling. Bulls are chilling. Check back in on my NQ. I don't believe I got those fillers. Yeah. Wondering, give me a moment here. No, I'm not going to take any more off, but I am going to remove those asks because now at this point, essentially my ask was like ended up being what, like $5 over where we ended up hitting. But at this point, if we were to go back up through that, I'm not trying to sell because that's the next like display of proof and strength from the bulls. So I'll just leave that be, and that's that. So bull's going to need a clear 5-minute uptrend. For me, this little dinker doesn't do it. Little dinker doesn't do it there. All right, let's see what else we got. Looking at FET, FET USDT. So FET, what were we watching here? Oh, it was another one of our falling wedges. Another one of our falling wedges, very nice follow through. At this point, daily stair step. Bull's still going to need a daily uptrend eventually if we want to be confident and follow through. Let's look at our weekly implications. So this is another one where we do have to watch out for a weekly lower high after losing weekly 12 EMA, but bulls are certainly in control in the short term. Anything below 79.52 would be a weekly lower high. And we don't really have a daily uptrend to be our guide on this. So we're just using the daily stair step and 4-hour 12 EMA. So bulls are in full control of the daily move as long as 62.20 is support. And that is that. Probably shaping up for some hourly consolidation. It's already underway, but potential hourly bull flag at this point. After a move up like that and you lose the stair step, bears want to punch it down. They don't want to just snap back up above that stair step level. So a little 15-minute tightening range would need to break bear for further hourly consolidation. And if that doesn't happen, then it's an hourly bull flag. And we'll continue to just watch this 4-hour 12 EMA. Looking at Matic a bit closer for Terabyte. Very powerful name there, my friend. So as I was saying before, looking for a weekly lower high on Matic, but the daily trend would have to become compromised for that to begin to shape up. It's looking like that might be the case this morning as we were pushing down, testing the daily 12 EMA, but bulls have snapped it up to higher highs here. So daily uptrend going to be the guide, and the low of today, 81.83, is key support. So this is kind of one of those things that I think some people struggle to like conceptualize when Dan and I are like, oh, the weekly lower high is the most likely scenario. That doesn't mean that we just YOLO into these things looking for the lower high. It means that our minds are open up to that. And if we see weakness on the smaller nested time frame, we'll know exactly what it is. So in this context, it would be the daily trend weakening to show us a weekly lower high shaping up. So what that would look like is, say we see another move up and then we pull back like that, and then you start to set up a head and shoulders, then that's when you say, okay, that would be the route to the weekly lower high. But if you just go up and you see healthy trends like this, like you're not going to set a weekly lower high if your daily consolidation is healthy every time along the way. So it's always using the multiple time frames to get the clues to then position us in something for a larger time frame, most likely scenario. So just going to be watching this daily uptrend, and low of today is now the key support. All right, yeah, let's look at Mara. We'll take a peek at all of these miners. So Mara, bears failed at confirming a weekly downtrend, and bulls took back over. So I'm just going to view this as one weekly move up still, and say that anything below 31.30 would be a lower high unless we see increasing bull volume. And we do have that from last week. Too early in the week to say what we're working with here now, but let's check out the daily. Yeah, daily certainly on track for continued increasing. So we've just got a daily stair step and an hourly uptrend. Lots of room for an hourly higher low compared to the low of today. Next consolidation technically underway, but bear's going to need to take out 26.13 to really get that underway. And resistance, we're looking up at this 27.34, and we have a volume profile area. These VP ranges on Mara has been fantastic historically here. So that is up in the upper 27s, around 27.88. So potential spot to be a little cautious, take some partial profits, or you can be walking up stops on an hourly uptrend and keep it nice and simple. So that's that. Let's see, Riot doing the same thing, trying to, we know bigger picture, it's weaker, and viewing this as just a big EQ. So wouldn't be shocked to see a lower high compared to 1875, and we'll have to see if that ends up shaping up. If that's going to shape up, we're going to have to see the daily uptrend weaken, and at this point, there are no signs of that. Lots of room for an hourly higher low compared to low of today, and that's that. Let's look at CLSK. I know it's been doing better. Yeah, we're up to new highs on CLSK. Gap up and go, just daily stair step, hourly uptrend guide, weekly uptrend guide, and that is that. And another good example of if you're going to see the less likely scenario play out of going to higher highs, which this was, going to see increasing bull volume most likely. Let's see, I'm going to check back in on this NQ. Looks like bears are coming down. Shame I missed that extra chop there, but that's how she goes sometimes. We'll see if bulls can get the 5-minute uptrend and try to shape up an hourly bounce from here. Let's see, I guess we'll look at coin as well. Not a miner, but certainly related and trading with the miners, and the weakest of the bunch. Remains the weakest of the bunch. Tons of room for a weekly lower high still compared to 187.39. And that daily uptrend, or we're not in a daily uptrend, we're just a stair step off the low. So the daily chart would need to weaken if that were to shape on up. Let's see, LC, I'd like to see some monthly consolidation sparked by the big sell-off today. If you're talking about Bitcoin, perhaps you're looking into the future, or if you're talking about the broad market, I wouldn't call that a big sell-off at this point. Wouldn't call it a big sell-off at this point. We're not really fixing, I mean, there's really no roadmap for monthly consolidation in ES, NQ, or Bitcoin at this point. And when I say that, I just mean like signs of anything. I mean, we're just weekly stair stepping up on ES. We are in a weekly uptrend on NQ, just baby pullbacks off of the top at this point. So hardly a big sell-off anywhere, my friend. Let's see, 93 Mischief. How would you play the miners this week? I've been trading Hut and took profit today with a very small, no risk runner. Man, I'd just be looking for back burners and hourly higher lows. Definitely a little tougher when they just run from you. Yeah, and this week it's only Monday, so I don't know if you meant maybe last week, but yeah, not a lot of an opportunity to get in 5-minute higher low off the 12 EMA. But after that move up, I probably would have been waiting for a 15-minute higher low, and that did not really give you a easy chance at it. But it's all about back burners, man. When you've got something that's absolutely running, your entry opportunities are the 5-minute back burners if you want to be the most aggressive and like set it up as a stair step, something so that you're not just like scaling in. And yeah, these were all pre-market. This is a 5-minute back burner here. Ends up marking the low of day on Friday. And, that'd be a tough swing into the weekend knowing that Bitcoin continues to trade. But let's see, 5-minute back burner back here, also pre-market. And 5-minute, that one's not a back burner, but 5-minute oversold. You're looking for pullbacks. You're looking for EMA riders. Let's see if we've got an EMA rider here. Not really. That Friday one was nice. 5-minute oversold into hourly 12 EMA. So, maybe you get another opportunity at something like that. We go see where our oversold conditions are. You drop your line, you come back over, you see where that aligns with your EMAs. And if we pulled back from here, we would have 5-minute oversold into the hourly 12 EMA. And those are the type of scenarios where you want to be looking for positions. All right. Let's see. What do I think about STX? Let's see. So STX, we've got a monthly uptrend. We're nearing all-time highs, at least on the Binance listing. We have got a weekly uptrend with weekly 12 EMA. So like Sol, like ETH, like Bitcoin, like many names, weekly 12 EMA is going to be the guide. And that makes 124 the most important support here. And we're very close to confirming the weekly bull flag along with Bitcoin, which many alts aren't doing. So that has relative strength there. We have got a daily uptrend now, and anything over 173.62 going to be a daily high or low. Next consolidation as we bump up on this resistance, and bulls would be hoping for like a cup and handle. If we were to reject from resistance, form a bull flag, and then go back up and crack both of these levels, but no sign of that at this point. Hourly consolidation underway. Anything over 186.80 going to be a higher low. And that's pretty much that. 4-hour 12 EMA. That's actually going to be my guide here. Very clear. So bulls are in absolute control as long as 4-hour 12 EMA support. You lose that, you have some daily consolidation more legit than that last daily consolidation where bears tried to take out 4-hour 12 EMA. Confirm a little 4-hour downtrend, but anytime you see that, you confirm a downtrend and then don't see follow through, that tells you to zoom out and look for a bull flag. And that's exactly what this one was here. That is this little daily bull flag. All right, AVAX. Let's look back. I think we looked at it a little bit. This was a falling wedger as well, was it? No, this was not. So AVAX holding weekly 12 EMA, but still a good deal of space for a weekly lower high compared to 49.96. And again, the more alts we see go to weekly higher highs, the greater the odds that any other given alt can follow through will be. Obviously, the further you are from that resistance, the more difficult it's going to be. But you know, if we see ETH go to higher highs, STX go to higher highs, Sol go to higher highs, then that will have these other names, you know, hoping that they can be a laggard and do the same. But at this point, as things stand now, I would say a lower high compared to 49.96 is the most likely scenario. Got a daily uptrend guide. Bulls trying to shape up a quick daily high or low. And that's that. Got a little bit of a wall of resistance here, 41.85. And a triple top here the past 3 days, 41.24, 20, and 13. Hourly consolidation underway. Lots of room for an hourly high or low. And this could be a little cup and handle. Could be a little cup and handle, something like that. If bulls keep this consolidation healthy and keep it a bull flag. All right. The OG Itchy. I like that name. I appreciate you tuning in, sir. Happy to chat stonks with everybody. Let's see. FIL USDT. It's been a minute since I've looked at FIL. So this is another one that will fall into the weekly lower high scout list. And I'm actually going to add it here right now. Add it here right now. So it can be seen as a laggard bull at this point. And then it will also be looking for a weekly lower high. So you can definitely be both. So bulls are hoping that we can, let's see, we technically have a daily uptrend, not much follow through. This is quite weak at this point. So got to get through 555 to see some follow through. Let's look at FIL BTC. See if we get any clues from here. So FIL BTC is at all-time lows. So we can see just the relative weakness, monthly 12 EMA resistance, bigger picture, and weekly stair step. So if we want to see FIL USD fall into the laggard category and get a laggard move, I mean, it's in the laggard category, but if we want to see it get the laggard move, you got to break the weekly stair step. You got to get a weekly bounce underway here. We've got daily 12 EMA resistance clear as day. So that'll be getting over that, and getting a daily uptrend will be the first sign that FIL USD is looking to get some laggard action going on. That will be the first sign. Let's see, I'm going to botch your name. Marcel, I'll just call you that. Marcelo Valves. Thank you, I appreciate it, my friend. All right, Cody and Julia, combo YouTube account. That's very risky, sounds serious. Sounds serious. Congratulations. Let's look at QNT. If TradingView is going to let that. So another one, same category, where it's a laggard bull now, but definitely going to be looking for weekly lower highs. When you have all these other names up testing the highs and you are way down off of them, something ain't right. So the weekly bounce is underway. Anything below 153.8 would be a weekly lower high. And we have a daily uptrend confirming without follow through at this point. So it could be a weekly bear flag. And if we're going to see rotation into QNT, going to need to see this ratio chart come along. We are nearing the lows, so it wouldn't be surprising to see bulls try to defend it in some fashion. But you got to get a weekly uptrend that sees follow through. This was a weekly uptrend, but the very next week you realize or you learn that there's no follow through there. So we're right off the lows, weekly stair step, daily stair step, probably 12-hour 12 EMA resistance. So we'll say bulls got to get over 12-hour 12 EMA as step one of proving that QNT bulls are trying for some type of laggard move, but then we're looking for that weekly lower high. Let's see, Mr. Flecky, OMUSDT. Wow, that's a move. That is a move, almost 2,000%. So monthly stair step, weekly stair step, and surely an EMA rider. Daily 12 EMA rider, daily stair step. So absolute beast. We know it wouldn't be shocking to see a quarterly lower high compared to all-time highs, but there's zero sign of that yet. Sideways past few days. If this range breaks bearish, we'll be looking down to daily 12 EMA. Anything over 14.6 would be a daily high or low. And bears would need to take out daily 12 EMA and confirm a daily downtrend to hang their hat on anything. Then we'll be looking for a weekly high or low. We're absolutely torqued on RSI levels. Are we almost at 100? We're at 97 on the weekly RSI. You really don't see that often. But a good example of why just being overbought is not a reason to short anything. Not a reason to short anything on its own. It's a clue that lets us know potentially to look a different way, but it's more of like a temperature check where you get reminded that things are hot, but obviously the burden of proof is fully on bears here. So let's zoom in a little bit more. A 4-hour EQ. So this could be kind of like a 4-hour EQ, and if this breaks bear, we'd be looking at like a 12-hour EQ. And we know very often you'll see an EQ on one time frame break, lead to an EQ on a larger time frame, and the setup is here for that. So bears would need to take out 25,539 if they were to see any daily consolidation shape up in any notable sense from here. All right. Let's see. I'm going to check back in on my NQ real quick. So bulls struggling. Bulls struggling. Odds at this point of confirming a 5-minute uptrend certainly diminished with the depth of this retrace. So looking like good odds. I'll be stopping this out. Double check my stop again. Yeah, it's right where it needs to be. So good odds of that stopping on out, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll let it live and see if bulls can salvage it. All right. Let's see. LC says, in regards to the comment about the dump, interesting, was talking about the markets but expecting crypto to follow. The SPY QQQ sharp sell-off today caught my attention, but you've seen way more charts than me. Yeah, I mean, it's a sharp sell-off, but you know what we often call these in the chart guys are sucker punches, where you just get this sharp sell-off and sucker punch. And bears did the first job of confirming the 5-minute downtrend after that, but they got to go step by step. And this is the thing when you're working against all of these time frames. Like you get one victory of like, okay, we got the 5-minute downtrend. Well, now you need to see it on the 15-minute time frame. Then you need to see it on the hourly, then the 4-hour, then the daily. So is this the first sign of a bigger picture momentum shift? maybe we've got CPI tomorrow morning, and we've seen many pivots in the last 2 years come off of CPI. So potentially, but it's just the burden of proof is on bears so firmly that's why I'm like, instead of being like, oh, I'm looking to get short, I'm looking to buy the dip, because buying the dip has been the move for a long time. 4 hour 12 EMA. Is it a 4 hour high or low? Technically not, because we got that little dinker there. Let's see if we have a better EMA. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind working just with the 4 hour 12 EMA here. The ES is a little bit clearer. 4 hour 12 EMA, been riding for well over a week. We're now down here testing it. Is this the top? Could be, always could be, but is there any true indication that this is the top? No, we're seeing 4 hour consolidation after new all-time highs this morning. So burden of proof firmly on bears. I'm so open to bears coming back. I'm so open to bears coming back. There's a deep, is this the chart where I have it? Yeah. Deep history of macro megaphones in the broad market. We had the one in the 60s. We had the one from like 15-year megaphone from the 65 to 85. I guess that's 20 years. Then the tech bubble and financial crisis was a megaphone. The 2018 Christmas dump into COVID was a megaphone. So I'm on the watch out for something like that here, and gonna not get caught with my pants down if that happens. But because I'm on the watch out for it, doesn't mean that I'm not gonna buy the dips in the short term and continue to have a bull bias while we're in quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily 4 hour uptrends. So I get the bear fascination and whatnot, and I will hope to crush it if we see something like that. But you gotta, especially with the broad market, the bears need to prove it. And just as we were talking about in crypto, how we're seeing rotation right now, that's great for bulls. ETH getting a leg up while BTC chills. Bitcoin dominance dropping while Bitcoin goes sideways, and other alts see their leg up. Like, rotation is what makes a market healthy. The markets are designed to go up, and rotation is that's the means that allows the S&P 500 to do that over its whole history. So the reason I'm saying this is, if bears are going to show up in any meaningful fashion, we'll stop seeing rotation. You're going to see XLF, QQQ, SPY, IWM, XLV, all of them dropping at the same time, hitting new lows of day at the same time. That's the whole thing that Dan's talking about regularly in chat is, all major sectors, low of day at the same time. Like, that should set off an alarm in your brain. And if you're not seeing that, then you just know that bears don't really mean that much. And that's just on like in a day trading sense, because then you need to see it on the daily. You need to see all major names breaking daily support at the same time to know that we've got any shift going on. So that, to me, that'll be the big tell when we inevitably get the next shift. It could happen in March. It could happen in 2028. I mean, we cannot forget that the broad market is very tough to short. There's opportunity once in a while, and it's quick and fast and profitable, but in general, a bullish bias with risk management, of course, is the way to go in the broad market. Let's see, check back in on this NQ. We got bulls defending support. Do I take some off at 5-minute 12 EMA now? I'll take off 20% just so I can say I did. All right, I've taken off one of my remaining 5 contracts. I'm going to switch my stop. And yeah, I'll let that be for now. All right, looking back at YouTube. Let's see, Karan Bell. Do I hold any no-touch crypto for the long term? Kind of. I personally don't, but for the last couple of years, I've been given my family Bitcoin for Christmas. So I'm like managing like it's not no touch. I would touch it. I'm kind of like managing a bull swing Bitcoin position for my mom, dad, brother, sister, sister-in-law, and now niece. But me personally, I don't have any long-term no touch positions. I prefer to um, be in control of the day trade element. I mean, I swing trade, but I touch all of those. I very specifically target specific moves when I'm swing trading, but as far as no touch, no. I don't have anything that I wouldn't touch. All right, let's look back at INJ real quick and then probably wrap it up. We got a Chart Guys stream starting in 3 minutes, and I don't want to conflict with that. INJ, all about this 2-day tightening range. Bears are playing short off the highs, bulls are playing long off the lows. It works until it doesn't. And if we were to break bear, that'd be monthly consolidation. We'd look back to daily oversold and monthly 12 EMA. If we break it bull, then we continue to plow through blue skies. So it was looking like we had a head and shoulders here. I suppose it still technically could be, but all of the crypto bullishness the past, I guess, 5 hours at this point kind of shifted these odds. But just to talk about this from an educational standpoint, kind of with what we were talking about earlier, of you don't need to just say, all right, we're looking for a 2-day lower high, I'm going to YOLO in and bank on it happening. You wait for signs that it's going to happen. You zoom into your nested time frame, you look for a bearish pattern, and then knowing that that aligns with your larger time frame, that's where you take a crack at it. And this is exactly what this is here, and it would be a failure at this point if bulls get over, say, 36.75, because we know we're looking for a 2-day lower high. Then we zoom into the 4-hour and you see a head and shoulders pattern. That's when you say, okay, well, I'm going to try for a 4-hour lower high on this bounce. And at this point, be very close to stopping out because you've got that increasing bull volume. If you're going to see the less likely scenario play out, increasing bull volume almost always going to be there. No problem, Flecky. Let's see, last one here for Chris Rowe. Taking a look at KSM USDT. So KSM, definitely one of the weaker coins, very far off of all-time highs, monthly stair step off the lows, and we've got this weekly bounce underway. So I would put this in the same category that we're talking about with all these weekly lower high folk, that we're looking for a weekly lower high. Bulls are hoping that they can see some continued laggard action, but due to the percentage pullback off of the top there, nearly 50%, that makes the lower high the most likely scenario on this bounce. We'll have the daily uptrend be the guide that just confirmed here today. So low of today, 40.56, key support. Moving forward, and as far as resistances, we've got 47.14, then 52.74, and let's look at the BTC pairing for any clues there. So if you really want to see this thing go, you got to break these daily lower highs. You got bears just defending each and every one on this ratio chart, just dinging them all the way down. So you want to see that shift to say, okay, well, KSM is now hitting its laggard stride, but not going to lose track that the weekly lower high is the most likely scenario. No problem, LC. My pleasure, friend. Dorian, we looked at SEI a little bit ago, right? Yeah, we looked at SEI. Called it SEC. So zoom on back or scroll on back in the video. Check that out. Let's see. Am I using the Bitcoin ETFs? I am not at this point. I definitely have interest in it because the bulk of my capital is in my stock account. So to be able to trade Bitcoin without fees, that's definitely enticing. But my focus has been so heavily on futures lately, index and commodities futures, that I haven't really done the deep dive into the ETFs at this point for Bitcoin. And I mean, we've had good Bitcoin volatility, but it hasn't been like mouth-watering volatility where like that's volatility that I can't get elsewhere. And even volatility doesn't even rustle my jimmies like it used to, because with futures you can leverage in as big as you want. So this, like, for some perspective, I should say, like what I'm up, I guess I can be a little more precise. What I'm up on this NQ bounce play, and that was with the two little stop outs, is it's 5 times what I'm up on that the Bitcoin 50K short that I've got at this point. So you can, like, once you get into leverage and can use it safely, you can take really big positions, and you don't need much of a move to make it worth your while. So looking at Bitcoin here, we got, I would say this still could be a little 15-minute head and shoulders. I was originally viewing it like this: left shoulder, head, and a little dinky right shoulder. That did confirm, but with that left shoulder holding, I'm gonna dial it back and just view it like this at this point. So that would need to confirm to see deeper hourly consolidation at this point, certainly looking like an hourly bull flag. And if bulls break above 49,942, then that would be the hourly higher low being set, and we'd have a new short-term support at 49.5K. And yeah, bulls staying super healthy at this point. Nothing else unhealthy about this pullback. And don't let the fact that I'm shorting it spook you off of anything. Don't let that spook you off of anything. And on the topic of back burners here, reminder for Chart Guys members that we're running a 1-month free trial if you're a Chart Guys member on Trader Pro. So Trader Pro is the crypto alert system. And let's see, let me pull it up. Pull it up on the old interwebs and kind of show a little bit of what it is like. But yeah, it's the crypto alert system where you can be managing all of these different metrics essentially, and get alerts for it, set it up for your coins that you're interested in. And in a bullish environment where you're seeing rotation, you're seeing backburners hit on all sorts of stuff, it can be a really helpful tool to stay on top of everything. Because there's so many coins. Like, y'all hear me be like, oh, I've never heard of that coin, and I do this for a living, and I'm here all day, every day, and still just hear about coins that I've never heard of all the time. So it can help to keep track of the action. So yeah, if you're a Chart Guys member, grab your 1-month free trial and see if you like it. Toby, Chart Guys Cryptoby is the brilliant brain behind it, combined with Dan and the back burner and all of the things that Dan cares about. Toby took all of that, put it into an alert system, and it's pretty dank. Pretty dank. All right. That's all I've got here for today. Or we'll take a little peek around. One final wrap up. So ETH, holding 15-minute 12 EMA. We said after you lose the 5-minute, zoom out to the 15-minute. Now we got the 15-minute. So if we want to see hourly consolidation here, bears would need a 15-minute downtrend. Be looking for our backburners and hourly higher lows. Let's see, LTC still weak, and Sol keeping its hourly stair step. Link weakening a little bit here up at the highs. So this is the thing on Link. Are we going to see, where's my Link BTC? Are we going to see this daily lower high shape up on Link BTC? That would be that relative weakness coming back in. So, all right, that's all I've got. Thank y'all for the thank yous. Let's see, MALI, does he trade live or does he just does analysis? If there's trade opportunities, I trade live. And today I did in fact trade live on this NQ dip. If you go back to, pretty much the beginning of the stream, unfortunately, this dump happened right when the stream started. But if you go back in there, you can hear how I established that position and how it took a couple attempts. I decided, if I'm just chilling and have time and patience, I just wait for the stair steps typically. but I felt a little rushed, so that's why I took these 2 preemptive attempts. I don't even know exactly what they or where they were. I had a little preemptive one at 17,974, and then I had another one at 17,960. Both of those were very small stops. First one was 4 points. Second one was 6 points. And then I ended up getting back in at 19,945 and got 4 contracts left. We'll see if bulls can get an hourly bounce underway. But yeah, I definitely, in terms of my trading volume, trade a lot more futures. A lot more futures than crypto. But it kind of depends what kind of environment we're in. I mean, in 2021 crypto, I stopped trading futures for like a year and only traded mainly the alts was my grind. But right now, when we've got blue sky bulls on NQ and ES, that's definitely taking the bulk of my focus here at this point. But yeah, if you go back to like the beginning of the stream to like the first, literally first 5 minutes of the stream, there's some live trading there. All right, if you haven't, if you can hit the like button, all of us over here at the Chart Guys would appreciate it. Helps the algos. If you're not subscribed and you like TA and charts, hit subscribe, see if it fits your fancy. If it doesn't, then you can unsubscribe. And I hope everyone's doing well. Exciting. I don't want people to think I'm a Bitcoin hater because I'm shorting it here right now. I'm just a trader, and that's all I do. I have no loyalty to any of this stuff. So don't hate me for that. I'm definitely much more a bull than a bear, 150%. But when I see opportunity in one direction, I go for it. And that's that. Take care, everybody. Congrats on Bitcoin 50K. Watch your back burners. Watch your daily 12 EMA. We would have to lose daily 12 EMA from here to say, like, okay, we've got a red flag. Maybe we're looking at a weekly head and shoulders or something. If that doesn't happen, then bears have absolutely nothing to hang their hat on. Take care, and I will see y'all at the next one.